Hi there, Ron here, Variable Play, and welcome to another LarongAtin.
Oops, no.
Hello. Good
Hi,
evening.
Good
Good
evening.
hi,
evening.
good evening. So it has been a month since we had our LarongAtin episode, and a lot has happened
Yep.
within a month. Uh, so we finally have PlataPorma
Mhm.
out. It is available
Mhm.
in the market. You guys, make Miko, first time ko kasi may experience. I know for you, you were earlier on you were able to experience having Darna and Bagani available
Mhm.
in Lazada and Shopee. My case
Mhm.
kasi medyo ngayon ko lang siya nakita. Ooh,
Oh.
Plataforma is in Lazada. I can now say nasa Lazada yan. Because I yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Folded Wishes. I don't remember if it reached Lazada.
Mhm.
But it's in NGSP. But yeah, so Plataforma is
Yeah.
Lazada, Shopee, and a lot of your neutral ground stores and all of the local stores that also
Mhm.
uh, thankfully uh, gratefully carried also the game. So yun. And also super thanks to Nico for helping me make this pretty.
Sure,
Malaking
sure.
bagay, malaking bagay. Kasi yun. What we're gonna be talking about today is a little bit just about a brief history of how we we came up with this, or at least the journey, and also sharing some experiences of going through the design process, the prototyping, and actually tapos mo na nga sa prototype, in-approve na lahat. Nandun ka na sa publishing part, ang dami pa rin changes. Dami pa rin changes. Uh, so yun. So I'm just gonna share with everyone.
Yeah.
Naglalag ako? O actually kayo yata yung naglalag.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't feel like it.
Okay, baka it's on our end. Wait, sige, we'll check our internet What's happening kaya?
Sige.
Mm.
So, meanwhile, while Nico is checking, I will share my screen. And what you guys
Mga
are seeing
older
here is
iterations.
the OG. As you can see,
Yeah.
Ooh.
very high end packaging. Yan. Ito ang original na plataforma.
Mm-hmm.
Ayan po siya. Magkahiwalay pa siya na cards. Yan. Tapos, ang design style nun, yan, was para siyang yung balota, the form
Mhm.
where you shade your your votes, your candidate. Takot ako magbukas ng mga kononong dito. Baka ko na mabuksan kong pangalan. Oh, kasi part of our journey, when so this came out. It never came out in print. It was available free to print and produce yourself. Basically, a free print and play version of it. You can still find the original files, still available. No, you guys, if you wanna make your own copy of this, you can download the PDF files. It is available in BGG and my GitHub repository. Kasi ano siya, naka open source. yung framework, the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
framework
here.
design of this is open source.
But you want to show the box, right? It's here, right? That's the it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, eventually, kasi nga medyo marami yung cards and ano, I think 2021 was it, Sir Freddy?
Mm-hmm.
When you reached out and Ron, kamusta ba yung plataforma design? Is it
Mm-hmm.
something that we can already come out with? I think it's something that's going to be useful with the situation and with the upcoming elections. Is it something we can revisit in the Sir Mike? So, sir, sige, give me a few days. Let me just, um, for some odd reason, I like that old version too. Yes, yes, meron siya talagang nostalgic feels. Mas grassroots, di ba?
Mm. Tsaka
So,
maaalala mo yung mga sikat na personalities noon na hindi na masyadong sikat ngayon.
Oo. So
And
if
the
you, if
issues na at that time.
yes, something that we've learned designing this game, its effectiveness is always very uh, targeted to the current situation of the society and where it's being printed. The open source one, the one that's available online, there's actually some people from other countries that said, "Hey, this is a good idea. Maybe I can do it for my country, and
mhm.
maybe I should follow up and see how did they fare. Maybe dapat meron tong blue and yellow version, right? Para may
Ukraine.
pang Ukraine. So yun, one thing that we had to figure out last year was, okay, how do we get it to print? We need to conserve in terms of cost, so that it's easier, more accessible, but at the same time, um, how do we work with the content, so that it's more Just, it can appeal to more people. It can appeal to yung unang design ko, hindi ko na-realize na lahat ng mga nilista kong problema ko. hindi, hindi, hindi siya, hindi, marami dun sa topics, hindi siya,
Universal.
hindi siya relevant sa bata, o kaya pag medyo may matanda yung naglalaro, hindi rin niya nag-gets yung mga topics. And so when we revisited, sige, I think, sir, we have a good idea how to do this. So we went with, yan, sorry, kakabukas pala nito.
May sticker
Yan,
pa.
may sticker pa. Okay, so, a friend of mine, Marek Season, thank you for giving me the inspiration on the box. This is a box naman that's a template that's available. I think Game Crafter also gives out this style of template. But we did a bit more innovation kasi the typical ones there are for 18 cards. And we said, no una, this was just, is this one. This is the first iteration that we did. And so, and you can see the color. This one is a little bit more on the green side. This one is a little bit more on the blue side. Pero pag sinukat mo yung difference niyan, parang siguro mga 10x. Sorry, ito folding. RGB, yung lamang nito sa blue, parang mga 10 points lang versus nito. So ito, bumaliktad, lamang nito green. Pero yung una namin naisip nga dito was, we wanted it to be more, well, Nico actually was the one who innovated this color palette. Nico, this is something that you're very good at. It's how you save on color. So what was the rationale behind why we converted from this color palette to this one? Ano yung tinanggal mo?
It's more of to make the colors safe. Kasi diba, when you go to, yung screens natin is RGB, which is a mixture of red, green, and blue. Pero sa print, you have
CMYK.
it's CMYK. There's less colors, so there's cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. But when you print, merong may allowance pa yun, medyo magdedrift ng konti. So in order to make the colors as parang you want to make it so that the colors don't drift into each other, you're going to make them as far apart as possible in each of those, the CMYK. So parang kanyari, so just to give an idea, yung left, that one, it had colors from all four, C, M, Y, and K. So cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So since it has colors on those four colors, mas maraming chance for drift. While the one on the right, I think it's only cyan and black. Wala atang magenta or yellow. So because of that, there's less variance. Kasi walang magenta, walang yellow, just cyan and black. There's less variables. So at least we're sure na pag nag-print, it's gonna be relatively consistent sa colors. And so yun, yung color palette, transform lang, ginawang mas ganon, lesser colors, a wider range of values para it's more consistent. So yun.
And it's very impressive kasi nga there's quite a bit of small fonts here, and you can see just here on the subtext, the political storytelling game. Even when I'm looking at it, the color is very near. Even if when we had this on the when we designed it, magkaiba yan, matingkad yung green na yan. Pero hindi niya na-achieve yung green na yun kasi nga nag-bleed na yung green na to with the green of the background. But here, you can see they're all very distinct. You can still see the small prints, see all the small details. So while this color overall seems more deeper, functionally, this is yun nga, what Nico said, safer in terms of the print run. So those are the things na actually si Master Nico, I leave it to him pagdating sa ganyan kasi I'm like, akala ko okay na to eh. Para sa akin.
I actually only learned that with this project then. Kasi when I was talking
Okay.
to the different printers, yun yung mga suggestions nila. Kasi it becomes more obvious when you have a design like this na puro flat colors. Kasi like the
Mhm.
previous games we did na offset, like Darna and Bagani, medyo complex din yung colors. So hindi ganun kahalata. Pero with something like this na flat colors, yun, it's kind of more important. So actually, ganun nga
Yep.
eh, the simpler the design, the more important your color choices.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
And on the design side naman, the reason why we chose these colors, they're very deliberate. Was we wanted the least used color palette. And then if you measure this is yun nga, as mentioned earlier, this is both blue and green. So just in
Mhm.
case lang, para lang,
Yeah.
hindi siya isang kulay lang.
Mhm.
There's a range for this. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
yun. So yun siya.
because
And
colors
then,
are very meaningful nowadays.
yes, yes, people, are color theorists.
Yes.
Uh, One thing we
Colors are
also,
becoming very polarizing.
oo, oo, dati ano lang eh, black and white lang
Maliban
yung
kulay ng suot.
polarized.
Oo nga. Iba-blur na lang natin tong suot ni Aya. Ay, yun pala.
Ayun, no?
I didn't realize.
I mean, normally most people won't know this. Um,
Oo nga,
what
no?
Miko also noticed when we were already running the sheets
Hmm.
was, so one thing that we did as an innovation to again save on cost and at the same time, because we had to produce it locally and we had to save on cost, and so we made it in such a way that the rule book, which is again, thank you Marek for the inspiration. The rule book is inside already the box. So the box in the rule book is one. So at least we have one component reduced. And what we also realized is that this um, fits on sort of like a sheet, and then so a couple of these. Ilan, Nico, ang napagkakasya sa isang sheet nito?
Dalawa. Two.
Dalawa. So two
Yeah.
of these. So yung dalawa, and then yung isang set nito sa kabilang set naman na sheet.
Mm.
So when we realized that, yung 54, ito yung una eh. 54 cards lang to.
Mm.
So sinukat na ni Nico, meron tayong butal. May kasya pa. Sayang
Yeah.
yung space. So nung nakita na sayang yung space, kasi pwedeng pagsisingit-singit, di ba? Parang gano'n. Kumbaga,
Yeah.
think of it like that, na parang pwede pang mga isingit.
Yeah.
Sayang naman yung kung saan sila pepwesto. So nadagdagan. Nadagdagan pa. Kasi gano'n din eh. Bibilin mo na yung papel,
Yeah.
iprintan mo. Yung tapon dito, wala naman yung tapon na talaga eh. So at least kung nalagyan namin ng cards yan, then they can, the printer can really maximize. We can, in
Oh,
essence, bring
pero
more value.
not for the box it's more on the
Mm,
cards. So
that's true.
yung space dyan in the box where you pointed, first unfortunately tapon yun. Yeah.
Talaga? So dito
Yeah.
tapon na talaga, no? Kasi
Yeah, yeah.
kailangan nilang may hirapan silang iputulin.
Yes,
Oo.
because if you put a card there, it might not be the same size as your deck. So,
Right, right, right.
yun there's a lot of maraming mga
Considerations.
as the printer put it, pag naka-offset ka na, may black magic na involved.
Oh, may
So,
kasama ng dasal eh. Pag
oh
nag-offset
yes.
eh. May kasama ng dasal eh. Sana pareho sa labas.
Yeah.
Yun. So something we also learned, when number one, when you guys are doing your prototypes and you're doing your rule book, as much as possible, just do your best na final copy, walang lorem ipsum, walang mga filler. Kasi, munti ka na naming i-print. Itong QR code na to ay papunta sa Google. Laking shock na lang namin. Nung pag-check ko sa kanya, saan to papunta? Parang Google or Hello World? Something like that. Basta it was like, what? Where is that going? So yun. So buti na lang na itama na siya right before it got printed. So at least, otherwise that would be really sad. Kasi
Yeah.
we would have printed something that would not go anywhere. Well, Google mo na lang yung PlataPorma. That's what it said. Ayun siya.
Yeah. Do
The
your own
rules are
research.
there. Yes. Yes. Yun. So, any other parang experiences, Nico, that you found that was a little bit different, or the lessons learned you want to share with our viewers about
um
a print run for PlataPorma?
Teka.
I think just to emphasize what he was saying earlier,
Mhm.
that talking to the printers really helps in because they're the ones who know how to like maximize the paper, minimize the cost.
Mhm.
It's when you emphasize to them that we really want to save and like how many cards fit in a sheet. They're the ones who know. So
Yes.
it's a learning process to talk to them when you try to. It's not just a matter of pakikost nga to and okay, here are the files. It's really working with them to um like in terms of the production process, save on cost and also uh like in terms of laminate, what laminate would be best, mga ganon.
What material?
Yeah, they know
See,
that they know best.
si Aya also knows kasi she did a lot of this mga coordinating with printers for previous mga balangay games. So, yon. It's really a challenge kasi um people like us, the gamers and the publishers, we understand what quality is and what what specs you want, you want the game to come out as. But we don't really understand the production processes and costs so well. On the other end naman, the printers, they usually have a very good understanding of production process and stuff like that, but they're not that familiar with tabletop the standards of quality and stuff like that. So it's really you have to find a compromise between the two.
And
Yeah.
that's also why like finding a printer and like having a good working relation with
Mm.
them is a big thing kasi if it's another new printer, i-explain mo na naman lahat ng mga important when it comes to like tabletop
Mm-hmm.
games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so something that we try to invest.
Oh,
Mm.
agree with that. I remember with the printers I was working with before. Nagbago lang yung engineer, sira yung isang buong parang prototype run ko kasi
Mm.
yung pag-flip lang ng papel, for some reason parang, guys, you've been always doing it. You've been always flipping on the length of it.
Mm.
And then, sir, kasi oo nga. Magkakalikod.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
nag-shoot naman eh. Nag-shoot pero lahat ng cards baliktad yung likod. tapos, tapos, napaka-importante pa ng position nung basta nung pinoprototype ko na yun. So, the cards now, they match to their backs.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it's something na parang lesson learned niya na, oh, okay, I actually have to emphasize that nasa ng flip, yung mga ganung
Mhm.
bagay, and it's a lot of coordinating with the printers. Pero it's not the thickest, but it's pretty good. It shuffles well, actually. It shuffles
Mhm.
quite well.
Mm.
And yan, something for everybody here. Ang corner technology sa Pilipinas, guys, it does not exist. Hi, hi, Araceli. Yes. So ito, Nico, can you explain paano nagagawa ng ating printers? Ano yung process to get this at least
Rounded
some
corner.
form of of corner?
If so, so imagine yung cards, diba? We want them to have those round corners, diba? But would you
Mhm.
believe that for this project, yung cost niya parang halos dumoble ata just for those corners.
Yeah,
It's how do you explain it? So the reason is abroad, you have card cutting machines na yun lang talaga yung
yeah,
ginagawa niya. Cuts it straight, cut rounds the corners, and then yun. But that's a very specialized cutting machine that you would only do if you're making playing cards, not even calling
Mhm.
cards or
Yep.
greeting cards. It has to be playing cards. So since we don't have that here locally, the normal way of cutting things out of a sheet would be die cut na parang, imagine yung parang Gundam. Yung may, it's like there's like a cookie cutter that cuts the thing, pero may konting papel na still connects to that piece. Just like yung sa Gundam, di ba, pag binili mo, may plastic
Yeah.
pang frame, tas ganun.
Or
So,
even just chipboard
ay,
tokens.
chipboard tokens. Yeah, ganun siya. But of course, we don't like that. Ayaw natin nung may nakausli na what we call that the sugat. We don't want
Yes.
that. No, that's a normal way of cutting it. But since we don't want that, when it comes to cards, kailangan straight cut. Straight cutting is something that most production houses can do.
Yeah.
That's a simple thing.
Yeah.
Pero
Meron
yung
silang
corner cutting, parang may machine na you have to manually like push the stacks of cards into that machine that will parang grind the edges. So as you can imagine, that takes up a lot of time and manual
Power.
labor.
Okay.
yeah.
And
Ano siya?
mahal talaga siya.
Bas-
Oo.
Basically, you have a skilled laborer who
Yeah.
can hold the cards
Mhm.
and run up to the machine and then grind it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So,
like woodworks, para siyang ganun. It's not what you think na parang yun nga. Unlike the straight cuts kasi this big heavy piston
Yep.
that just goes down, it looks really cool kasi it just splits the cards.
yeah.
But that's not for the corners. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of labor cost involved just to get this, but it's so important because the lifespan of cards with rounded corners versus straight ones, um, it's a lot. It
Mhm.
multiplies it a lot. So
Yeah.
we had to do it. That's why
Dahil sa
when
shuffling yun eh. It's because of the shuffling.
yes,
You need the round corners for it to shuffle na hindi nasisira. Just
yeah,
imagine if that were sharp corners, pag shuffle mo sira agad 'yan. And then diyan mag-umpisa yung ano, pag wear and tear.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh, kasi for example, Monopoly cards or the property cards, they're not
Mhm.
shuffled. Eh. They're
Mhm.
just placed. So hindi kaya ever since they never really needed to round the corners.
Mhm.
Pero pagpasok ni Monopoly Deal, walang choice. Kasi na-shuffle si Monopoly.
Mhm.
Rounded corners sa Monopoly Deal. Pero the normal Monopoly, when you buy those properties, they're straight.
Mhm.
So yun, so sneak preview, a look
Okay.
back of
Mhm.
how we got PlataPorma just in time for
Mhm.
the elections. Uh, so yun, is there really anything you want to share about before we give people a round of play or so? Um, anything you want to
That
add?
well, that was the production process, but yung design process mo from yung yun nga yun, 'di ba meron kang several iterations and then uh ano pa ba? What else can we talk about?
Yeah. So in terms of the journey, no,
Mhm.
from this, right? How did in terms of design,
Mhm.
how did we end up here? And yan, so the big difference nga yan. So for example, yan si Vader nawala na yan, hindi na yan kasama sa ano sa bago ng Blatamore. So yan. So ang naging big difference niya is um yan. So the cards are well, yan, ito hinahanap to ni Javi, si Elmo. Special request niya. Pero I realize a lot of kids don't know Sesame Street anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very different ano. Um so so one is in terms of the the naming design for this iteration to this one, we realized that we had to make the names more generic. Some of the names here would be full names. Let me just see. Or I think actually this is already the first iteration na naging generic siya. Oo.
Mhm.
Meron pa, yung dati nito, ano eh, buo to eh. Buo yung ano. was interpreter. Nobody knows the reference for interpreter now.
I don't know.
So the
Yung
names
first person
before,
was very specific people eh.
Mm.
the first iteration was full names, full
Mm.
proper names, and we realized that it constricts the design. It
Mm.
doesn't give people enough. If they don't know the person, then they are not able to use the card. We
Mm.
realized if we focus on nickname and it gives them more flexibility. Kong could be Kong TV, King Kong, you know, um,
Congressman.
yeah, Congressman. Duke, you can read it Filipino way. That's one way of doing it. So, right. So we realized that was a more useful way to do it, and it's also safer for us. Kasi, um, plausible deniability. It's just a game in
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah,
then
you have to
Yeah.
show that disclaimer on the box
yes,
there.
yes, yes, yes. We have
Yeah.
a
And that,
we have
that
a
was really
disclaimer.
part of the reason why initially I was hesitant to publish it because it had a lot of very specific proper names, and
Mm,
we realized that some people might not appreciate their names appearing on a game, so we stayed away from that for the meantime until nga medyo parang so we can use nicknames, and then it's really up to the gamers, the players, to interpret who that nickname is.
yep.
Mm.
Uh, Although to begin with, yung game design naman, the game doesn't really uh, promote or endorse or disparages anyone specifically.
Mm.
It's the game is what the players bring to it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So kaso before meron kasi sang mga specific names na parang uh, there's only one guy that we know that's famous that has this name, di ba?
Mm.
Yeah,
So yun lang yung hesitation nun. And with
yeah,
this current iteration, it's very open.
yeah. So we realized maybe we can focus more on the nickname. We even added like really generic Ninong, Ninang,
Mm.
uh, Queen, Princess. Because we realized, hey, you can actually use more generic words, and they work quite well because people can still relate to them and you make use of them. So that was what that, and then of course the topic, yung topics naman ito ever since have been something that's actually the easiest to fill up kasi ang dami nating challenges. Um, and then I was able to reuse a lot of challenges
Mhm.
in the old iteration to the new one. Of course, marami ding mga nadagdag.
Yeah.
Online sabong.
Grabe nga, I mean, just in the past month, sobrang nag-iba na yung issues in the world. Hindi,
Yes.
hindi na
But
nahabol
yun,
si Will Smith, tsaka...
Meron naman tayong Willie.
meron tayong Willy. Meron tayong
Yeah.
Willy.
Oh, naka-
Pero yun, something that we also realized, if this does well in the market and we are able to have a lot of people play it, you never know. We might be able to come up with a new edition of the game, and uh, for sure, we would be updating it. Although,
Yeah.
generally, ang objective naman natin nga dito, sir, is to get people to talk about the issues, ganyan.
Yes.
So, maybe indirectly, if in the future, hindi natin siya kailangan i-print, maybe that's a good thing. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
di ba? Pero
Yeah.
kung, yeah, again, it's still a fun activity kasi end of the day, the lessons of talking about the issue and just having that opportunity to listen to other people of their opinion. I think there's more value to that um, on top of having fun playing the game.
Yeah. I think politics need, people need to be able to talk about politics in a in a safe manner.
Mm.
Especially
Mm,
now na very polarized yung yung bansa natin. So the game facilitates people, it's a social lubricant for people to talk about politics na hindi siya nagiging parang, oh, I'm attacking your candidate and then you feel personally attacked because of that. So the game allows you to talk about it in a fun, safe, humorous way. Na if you talk about something, you can always say na, hey, the game made me do it. And I think that's yun yung kulang natin ngayon. It's something that very lacking now because you see a lot of people fighting about politics na
Mhm.
paminsan parang wala na sa lugar. And
Mm.
I think yun yung part of the reason why we finally decided, hey, we probably need to bring this out, uh, let people talk about politics in a safe, non-threatening way in the environment of a game. Kasi gano'n
Yeah.
naman talaga yung purpose ng games eh. It's a way for people and hindi lang nga tao pati yung mga animals. They engage in play behavior to learn
Yes.
things, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So this is a way for you to learn about politics of other people, lalo na yung mga kalaro mo, especially if they have very, very different opinions than you.
Yeah.
So it's a safe way to explore that na hindi ka masyadong mamemersonal.
Yes.
And that's also the reason why we priced it very low.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 72 cards at 200 pesos. So please don't compare this to our other games.
Yes. Yes.
Ito lang sa game na 'to gagawin namin yung ganitong presyo na we're
Oo.
barely making money.
It's an advocacy.
Ah, na talagang we need to sell through
Yes.
most of it
Para
to make
makabalik taya.
oo, eh. So it's a very different situation than let's say our other games that we published. Not that
Yep.
we're actually raking it in with the other but it's even
No.
more so with this game dahil nga we
Oo.
didn't want any barriers for people to say na ay masyadong mahal, hindi namin they're not going to be willing to try it out. So we wanted as few barriers as possible so the game would reach more people and then hopefully uh mamulatan yung mga ibang tao. Yung mga ibang
Oo.
tao na
Hindi kailangan triggered agad. Puwede namang
yes.
pagkuwentuhan lang. You can listen, you can appreciate where they're coming from, give them that opportunity to share, and
Mm.
uh, don't not necessarily need to agree, but also you don't have to also blatantly reject, kasi at least give an opportunity to also see the human side of things. So
Mhm.
to give
Just to add
everybody,
to
yeah, go ahead,
Sir
go ahead.
Fred's, diba Sir Freddy mentioned that it's priced at 200 and it's really cheap. And Keo in the comments asked if it can be played remotely. And it is
Yes.
possible also now that we can play
Yes,
it remotely because each of us can afford our own copies. In a sense, it's like 200 per person lang. So we play remotely by like having the decks in our own decks, but then being able to play through and use the cards
Yep.
yes.
to play
So
the
what
game
I
later.
will be doing is I will be I have a couple of copies here. So I will be putting up the topic as here shared for everyone, and I will also have my own set of cards to play. And so basically, when it's somebody's turn, they tell me what topic, and I'm just gonna put it up here. Um, and yun. Uh, some questions here. May copy po ba available sa Bacon? Yes, there will be
Yes.
copies in Bacon, and di ko lang alam kung maabot ang surprise ni Nico. Ewan ko lang. Medyo masyadong malapit na. Kaya
Let's
ba
hope.
yon?
Yeah,
Let's
let's
hope.
see.
Let's
Let's
hope
see.
kung kaya. That would be super, super cool. But yes, you can um, get a copy of this at Bacon also. It's the Board Gaming Advocate Enthusiast Convention happening on April 23 and 24. So we will start to play the game. And before we do that, may kailangan muna akong gawin. Disclaimer. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, businesses, places, events, locales, and incidents are either the products of the designer's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental.
Mhm.
Okay, and
Yes.
disclaimer.
Any opinions expressed in this live stream do not reflect the opinions of the people on the live stream. Let the game mates do it.
Of the other
Uh,
people.
Yeah,
we're just doing this for the game purposes and to
yeah.
share with you guys
Okay.
how to play the game. Okay. All right. So cool, cool, cool. Go ahead and shuffle your copies
Mhm.
of
Yes.
So,
of the game.
I've drawn my 4 cards.
So
Okay.
draw for card.
All right. So um, I can be first,
Yeah.
and uh, ha. Actually, I realized ko. I could always just randomly choose the top.
Hindi, no, you have to be kasi you have to choose the who's going
I
to.
know. Sige, sige. So, sige. I will
We
choose the
can
topic.
invent an online variant.
Baka ano,
Meron tayong ano, parang AI topic chooser tapos
AI
we just
topic.
randomize.
The topic chooser. Pero sige, para lang people
Play it
who's watching are
as intended.
yeah. And baka you
played.
can explain the
How
rules.
the game is
Yeah.
played.
So
Okay.
so the way the game is played, we are given our 4 cards, and then the most recent voter or registered voter goes first. That would be me because I think I only voted when it was 2016. So
Okay.
so parang, oh, kailangan ko ng boboto. Parang yun yung moment. That was ano. Before that, that's fine. It's okay. You know, it's just there. 2016, I need to go there. So yun. So I think I'm the first one. So let's start with, okay, importante to. Yan.
Okay.
Public
Our
education.
So
current
you
issue. So
that
as
each
as
card
the
pala.
initial voter, I would choose the card issue. The cards themselves, they have 2 functions. So you can have it as a current issue, or you can have it as a candidate. As the voter, I will be choosing a current issue. The rest of my uh, the rest of the players would be looking at their cards and
Mhm.
figuring out, see which of those cards they can use as a president and
Okay.
vice president pairing. They will pitch their platform to me. As the voter for the round, I will choose among the 3 of them which one I like the most, and then whoever I like the most, they will get the point. In essence, they will get this card. But for online purposes, we would just rename ourselves um, Ron dash one if you have one
Okay.
point, so forth, so people can track it. I think I can rename for you guys. Yes, I could, so I can do that for you. Um, and we the next person to play as the voter is the one who won the point, and then we will play until somebody has 3 points or we reach an hour and a half.
Okay.
Alrighty,
Sige.
okay.
Okay.
So let's start. I and we can just go down the list since wala tayong play left.
Okay. I'm
so
gonna
so um, so go ahead, Sir
the
Fred.
first option is I'm gonna mulligan 3 cards.
Okay, you also have an option. Uh, at any
Meron.
time during the round, you can discard any number of cards and draw back up to your hand size, which is 4 cards.
Okay.
Officially,
My
you can do that once, but go
you
ahead
know,
if you
it's
need to
yeah.
do it a couple more because sometimes hindi talaga nagmamatch.
Mm.
Okay, so my vice presidential candidate is
Si
Miriam
Miriam. Okay.
Uy.
because education is very important to this candidate. If you remember her debates,
Mhm.
'di ba? And every time she talks, you know she's very well educated and she demands uh excellence even from her competition, 'di ba? Yung sa mga kalaban niya. But maybe not with her running mate at that time. Uh, so Miriam will champion public education.
So
And for
she's
my
your
president,
she's your vice president, okay? And then for your president?
president is Rizal.
Oh, okay.
Dahil
Siyempre.
sa kanya, napaka-importante ng kabataan. Sila ang kinabukasan ng ating bayan. So,
Yes.
priority sa kanya ang edukasyon. Yon. So, yun yung pitch ko.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that. All right. Aya and Nico,
Me first? Okay.
you want-
Okay, sige. So, before I introduce my tandem, gusto ko muna tanawin sa inyo, sino ba ang greatest teacher of all history? O 'di ba si Jesucristo, 'di ba? Pero sino yung nagturo kay Jesucristo? 'Di ba yung tatay niya? Yung presidential candidate ko si Saint Joseph. Kasi
Mm.
alam niyo namang homeschooled yan si Jesus Christ. 'Di ba?
Oo,
Tinuruan
tama.
ng carpenter. So,
Yes.
napakagaling na teacher tong si Saint Joseph. So, yan yung presidential candidate ko. Tapos, yung vice presidential candidate ko, mga yung buong student body ng UP, mga scholar ng bayan. Yun, important din sa kanilang education. Alam namin mga taga UP. Kasi, ayun, mga scholar kami. So, yun. Yan yung mga vice presidential candidates.
isang buong ano. Tama, no? Power to
Isang
the people.
buong student body magiging vice president ko.
Scholar
Kasama
ng
ng mga
bayan.
alumni.
Oo, mga alumni.
Yan. So just to share to the viewers, yan, you can be creative. You don't have to follow verbatim ano yung nakalagay. You can use sounds like, you can twist it a bit, which it's all about how you are pitching the idea.
Yep.
Si
Okay.
Aya.
So, my tandem is Willie.
Oh, Willie.
Really?
Di ba
Aling Willie yan?
marami siyang nare-reach through his program. I mean,
okay.
Akala ko
imagine
dahil maraming pinapaaral si Willie.
Imagine if he can reach this audience with the public education platform that he has, along with Oprah. Because Oprah,
no.
yun naman, her heart is so golden. She really cares about these kinds of issues. So, yeah, that's my tandem. Oprah and Willie.
Okay. Oprah is your president? Vice president?
President, yes,
President. Okay. So si Willie is parang public speaker. Agree ako na na great educators, si Rizal at si Miriam. Si Oprah marami talagang school. Meron siyang Oprah school talaga na ginagawa. So I think she understands that in essence while Globe it's a government role nga naman. Pero yun, there are other ways for us to source education and then you really distribute that great school. So yun. So my point is gonna go to Aya.
Yay!
Pero gusto ko yung
online
yung
game
Joseph.
talaga si Aya ang
Alam na namin yan. Di na kami nagtataka.
Okay, discard.
All right. Aya has one.
Jesus is so disappointed.
Ayan. So, and then after that, just refill back your hand to 4 cards. So, if you are, using 1 card or 4 cards, then yeah, just refill. And
So
Aya, you are now the new
voter.
So I choose
voter.
the topic.
Yep.
Yes.
Ayan, Aya 1. Okay.
Sige, let's be vanilla. Tell me who is your tandem to solve the pandemic?
Pandemic.
Okay. Ito lang si pandemic. Okay. Parang nasa akin na agad. So, ako, yung pandemic, ano yan na-solve yan agad sana kung earlier yung vaccine, yung technology natin. So, my president for this one is actually somebody who's already doing a lot of the building technologies, leading the build program. Yan, nandiyan si Mark Villar para ma-mobilize agad if we have more facilities. Maybe we could have produced our own. And then syempre, para doon sa VP, para mag-explain kung paano gamitin yung mga technologies na yon. Yan, nandiyan si Mateo. Kasi expert siya sa pag-unbox ng ng PSP, ng PlayStation. So matuturo niya kung paano i-unbox, magiging viral yung pag-apply ng vaccine. Yeah. Kasi yan ang aking pair. Go ahead.
Okay. So sa akin naman, yung before, I think one of the key problems with the handling of the pandemic was the early parts of the pandemic when there were still no vaccines. And so doon tayo mag-focus. Yung early when there were no vaccines, ang importante, hindi ba kailangan magkaroon ng ayuda at mabilis na ayuda. And alam natin na expert sa ayuda si Kuya Willie.
Okay.
Di ba? So,
Yes.
bigyan ng jacket. And
Bigyan
nung
ng
early days
vaccine.
din, 'di ba, nasabi na importante ang eto si Kiko Maching. Bakit si Kiko Maching? Kasi yung saging daw, 'di ba? Is very good against COVID. So yan, Kiko Maching. Expert sa saging. Yan ang presidente natin.
Okay. Kiko.
Ako na ba? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So yung okay. So yung presidential candidate ko si Bongbong
Okay.
Marcos. Kasi kita nyo naman 'di ba pag nagso-sortie sila, 'di ba, when he goes to the rally, talaga niya hawakan yung mga tao. 'Di ba, yung lahat ng pictures parang ganun siya. So yon, very good pandemic sana lahat makuha yon, talagang no touching. So
ulitin ko, the opinions of the streamers do not reflect the opinions of all the other streamers. Huwag niyo po kami i-bash.
So yon, that's the perfect attitude for the pandemic para naman hindi mag-spread, 'di ba? Tapos ayun, may rally hindi pupunta kasi nga dapat work from home. Kaya naman tama yon. And so yung vice president naman, yung yung nanay niya, si Lady Imelda Marcos. Kasi all this time since the pandemic started, narinig nyo ba kung nasaan siya? Parang di natin nakikita, di natin alam kung nasaan kasi nasa bahay lang, being safe, hindi lumalabas. So ayun, yan yung tandem ko.
Nice.
Okay. Can I ask lang, why again si Mark Villar?
Kailangan natin ng technology na for the facilities, the vaccination facilities, testing facilities. So, siya yung nagli-lead ng ating Build program.
So it's more of the infrastructure.
Yes. Siguro meron tayong mga testing centers, mas distributed yung testing to address the pandemic a little bit quicker.
So,
Just mag-unbox si Pateo.
But then, what is he unboxing the vaccines? Anyway.
Yung paano gamitin yung pang-test, yung self-test.
Testing. Okay. Gusto ko sana si Wibby kasi nga parang marami siyang mamigay ng ayuda. I think he'll be able to help a lot of people. But then, I don't think that's scientifically accurate that you can use that bananas help against COVID. So,
the game made you do it. Yung potassium daw kasi sa saging.
Ah.
At saka sabi niya, di ba parang smooth daw sa lalamunan. Kaya ano,
Can I give 50-50 points? I like the President na Willie and the Vice President Mateo. Pwede ba yun?
Hindi. You have
Okay,
to
then
choose
I
the
pick
pair.
Smart and Mateo.
Wow, okay.
Okay. Yay, I got the point. Balik sa akin.
Okay. Discard.
Renee. Ron.
So, draw.
One. Okay. All right. Okay. So my next topic is
Mhm.
yan. Pinag-usapan natin kanina. The Great Resignation.
Mhm.
So globally, yun nga, just to give a background, there's a lot of resignations that are happening. There's a lot of factors. Countries differ from the reasons why people are resigning. Some are quite tired of the. So we had some last year, but for other countries, mas first world countries, great resignations kanilang ano medyo massive, and then they will not get new work. So in our case naman, people are resigning kasi they're being sent back to work, and they're just looking for opportunities that will just give them a work from home setup. So yun yung mga factor, traffic, safety. So people are looking for other opportunities ngayon because um, the world has changed, and some organizations they're still trying to adapt to the new world, so the new ways of working. Great recipe. How do you make your employees stay?
I'm mulliganing 3 cards.
Mhm. Hmm.
Great Resignation. Sige. I'll field one candidate lang
Okay.
because he doesn't need
Is that
vice
enough?
president. And
It
actually,
depends.
yung right hand man niya, pinatay niya dahil nag-attempt mag-resign. Okay?
Okay.
So, it's the Emperor Palpatine. You
Ah.
remember, when Vader decided that he doesn't want to work for the Emperor anymore, the Emperor decided he wanted to kill Vader.
Sira.
So, I think, kung si Emperor ang ating pinuno, lahat ng tao matatakot mag-resign. Di ba?
Yes,
So,
sir.
wala siyang kailangan na partner at katandem. Siya lang mag-isa. He will stop people from resigning.
Mhm.
Yun, no?
Vader.
Ayun na yun. Yun na yung ano niya. Yung, ang tawag dito, katandem niya.
Oo. Okay.
Si Vader. Ikaw, meron ka na?
Ako ba?
Sige, you can go. I'm thinking pa of this.
Okay. So, since the problem is the Great Resignation, I chose my tandem to be very inspiring people. So the vice would be Princess Leia.
Wow.
So
Uy, Star Wars reference, ah.
Star Wars theme.
so she I'm sure that she will be able to listen to the different concerns of the people, why they are resigning, and she's going to address these issues. And my president would be Moses because they will
Oo.
Okay.
Pero ang mangyayari nun sa yung mag-Great Exodus.
Oo nga, no? Sila yung umalis. Nag-resign silang lahat. Sa Egypt, eh.
To the new land where there's lots of
That's the wrong idea. They all resigned and went
It's a
left
great
Egypt, eh.
resignation.
what happened, right?
Diba?
So
They
I'm
used,
saying
they
all
used to
the
be
unemployed people to new jobs.
They weren't unemployed. They were wrongly
They were
employed,
all
but they were
employed.
not unemployed.
They were just not paid. They were all employed.
They went to a new opportunity,
Yeah,
di ba?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay sa akin, wala talo yung sa akin pero ito lang yung maisip ko. So, yung president ko for this great resignation, si Elon Musk. Okay. Kasi, 'di ba may balak siya na pumuntang Mars. Tapos may parang raffle pa na maraming tao na sasama sa kanya in order to build the colony in Mars. So, that's how you solve the great resignation. Kasi paano kayo magre-resign? Nasa Mars na kayo. Babalik ng Earth. Wala ka ng choice. Magiging trabahador ka talaga ni Elon kasi as if naman pwede ka lang mag-resign at babalik ka ng Earth. So, ayun. Yan yung presidential candidate ko. Tapos yung vice president ko, hindi tao kasi si Elon naman marami siyang AI and ganon. So, important habang nagko-communicate with Mars, mababa yung latency. So, may mababang ping value para makausap niya yung mga tao sa Mars na ayun. Tapos since kontrolado niya yung latency, yung mga tao sa Mars parang Elon, we're going to resign. Tapos yun si Elon parang ay sorry, hindi ko nakukuha kasi medyo nawawala yung ping at latency niyo. So yun.
Pero pag nag-resign ka kay Elon, papalitan ka lang niya ng AI eh.
Not if nasa Mars na kayo. So yun.
Yeah. Okay. While I know this is effective, eventually it becomes problematic. So na that's one way to prevent it, but it won't be a lasting setup. This one cost the great resignation. In part. So actually, although you mentioned nga na Mars, no, a big driver of people staying is a very strong purpose. So yung purpose ng companies ni Elon of uh, terraforming Mars, I think is a way that is really protecting yung employment sa kanila kasi people are believing in a mission rather than just employment. So my point will go to Nico.
Yay! Even though hindi yun yung sinabi ko, but yay!
Yun nga eh. Si Ron yung nangampanya for Elon eh, no?
That's a much better way to promote my candidate. So,
Thank you, Ron.
Okay.
Bayaran si Ron eh.
Fanboy na ni Elon Musk.
Ay, ako na pala magbibigay ng
Yes.
issue. Okay. Let's see. Okay.
Pero
Sige,
kanina sa playthrough natin, pinilit ko yung Elton Musk.
Oo nga eh.
Di ba?
Yun
Dahil si
nasa
Elton
kamay.
yung hawak ko, hindi si Elon eh. Sabi ko, si Elton Musk na lang.
Okay, the issue is face shields.
Oh,
Face shields.
Oh my God. Okay.
face shields. Do you guys still have a set of face shields at home?
No na.
Like
No.
I have like a stack yung because nga parang kala ko it will be forever. So I have at least parang maybe like 50 pieces still.
I remember the first time na face shields. I didn't know na may other sticker. Diba there's a sticker on both sides.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was driving. Tapos parang wala akong makita. Buti na lang
Why are
mabagal.
you wearing it inside the car?
Kasi sir, nung una,
Una,
may
everyone
mga
had
ganun pa na kahit nasa loob ng sasakyan, kailangan,
Yeah.
sinisita. So,
Yeah.
hey, Clint. Okay. Sige, I will go first.
Okay.
So for face shields,
I'm mulligan. I'm mulliganing again.
okay. So we need somebody who's experienced and kailangan medyo mas fashionable in terms of promoting face shields. Eh, ano naman yan eh. There's a way for it that it could have been more presentable. So I'll pull in Queen Elizabeth, di ba? They'll do their grand balls and they'll have a mask. At least for the general public, at least it becomes fashionable. People wouldn't complain too much. Pero my for face shields, I think my president would be um what's her family name? I forgot. Gwen, the Spider Gwen. So
Gwen. Okay.
Stacy.
It's Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kasi yun, face shields could have been used more effectively. It could have hidden your identity, become a superhero. So, yan. Expert on face shields, face mask,
Face mask.
and
Okay.
shield.
Okay. Si Gwen yung president.
Gwen is my president.
Okay.
Queen Elizabeth, just to make it fashion for my VP.
Okay. Sa akin, si VP ko, si Kim. Kim Chu. Dahil,
Okay.
alam ko yung issue na involved siya pagdating sa pandemic wasn't actually the face shield. It was actually yung bawal lumabas. But
Yes.
alam natin na nag-viral yun. So, if she actually had talked about the face shields, I think it would have also gone viral and it would have been very positive. Diba? So, Kim Chu. And for the president, somebody who knows the value of shielding your face, Manny Pacquiao. Throughout his career, importanteng parangan ang mukha. So, sigurado sa kanya importante i-shield yung face. Manny Pacquiao for president.
Okay, me. So, my president is Dick. Because I'm not talking about the face shields that we use to shield our face, because that is not scientifically proven to actually, well, yeah, it's not recommended right now. So, what I'm talking about is safe sex. Covering the shielding your dick. So, this is my president.
Okay.
And
Okay, yung mga
Sorry,
bata,
kids.
important,
Sorry,
diba?
kids.
To prevent sexually transmitted diseases. So my vice president is Elton John.
Okay.
I know that he's not like I don't think he got AIDS or anything, but he was into drugs and everything, and he's clean now, and I think he's a very good anong tawag dyan? Ambassador of being protected from different transmitted diseases through the exchange of bodily fluids.
Okay. I did not expect that. Yeah, very good. Brought in something new.
Said, it's Dick. Parang, sinong Dick kaya ito? Yung last name.
Oh my goodness.
Protected. That's why we need to shield.
Okay,
the
okay.
I'm sorry, kids.
Okay. Medyo may kailangan sabihin yung not safe for work.
Excuse me, it's something that we need to be talking about out in public. I mean, that's why we're not doing proper sex education. It's so taboo. We say that it's not safe for work. It's nothing that kids should hear. But then it's important that they know that this rubber shields sexually transmitted diseases.
Minimeta na tayo.
Okay.
So, mahirap naman. Pero, so, tama si Aya, but unfortunately, hindi talaga yun yung issue eh. Alam ko parang mga political tactic to na parang daming namatay sa martial law. Eh, paano? Hacienda Luisita. Parang ganun yung nangyari. So, so, um, this is Dick and Elton correct, but this is the wrong issue. I will go with um, with Gwen and Elizabeth ni Ron. Kasi yun talaga naka face shield talaga si Spider-Gwen.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
But very good putting in the
Yes,
real issue.
we also we appreciate
Mm.
the awareness that you
Mhm.
provided. Those manufacturers, it's probably not something we want to be sponsored on. But, ayan. Okay. So ako ulit. Sige. My topic is, sige nga, how are we gonna address graft and corruption in our country?
Okay, I'll throw away 4 cards.
Promoter ba ng graft and corruption yung mga
Ito. Okay, sige. Vice President ko, Coco Martin. Dahil ang probinsyano, yung buong show niya, he's always been against corrupt officials. So may track record na siya of going against corrupt officials. And for my president, I think probably within 2 election cycles for president, sana tumakbo siya for president because he's been a very good example of clean governance pagdating sa syudad niya. So yan ang tandem ko, ang probinsyano at si Vico.
Wow. Pwede.
After kung tinapon
ang president,
tao hindi pwede magsalita tungkol sa paglinis ng gobyerno.
Presidente niya, sir, si Vico o si
Vico.
Coco?
Si Coco will assist. Siya yung tagahuli ng mga corrupt.
Yung promoter. Tsaka ano siya hindi siya tinatamaan. So if he needs to really
ano yan? Ever living.
Ilang season na.
Me first.
Sige,
Last
go.
na ng presidente.
Corning sa akin So I'll just... Sige, ako muna. So corny lang sa akin So, yung important sa graft and corruption is transparency. So kailangan malaman na talaga yung ano bang mga assets, ano may mga nangyayari sa mga officials natin. Kaya yung tandem ko kailangan ilabas na yung mga SAL-N. Ayan si Sal tsaka si N. So yun. Kailangan na ilabas yung mga SAL-N para malaman na talaga ng taong bayan. So ilabas yung SAL-N, ipasok sa Malacanang.
Okay.
Yung
pilit
This is my family name.
Soberano.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my tandem is Liza Soberano for VP. Kasi I think for a celebrity, she's very aware, and I think that she will also get all her followers to cancel whoever is corrupt in the government. So I think that her clout and her following and her popularity would be very effective in making the people not apathetic, like making them care and making them be angry at these corrupt officials. And for me, the president is Thanos. So, si Liza yung magko-convince mga tao, these guys, they're just terrible people. and si Thanos with his Infinity Gauntlet
Hmm.
will just snap his fingers and let them disappear. So that will solve the problem of graft and corruption.
Kasi it will cut it in half.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, ano ako eh. Uh, for this one, ang nag-appeal sa akin yung values driven. I think I think you need to sort of you need to fix graft and corruption from underneath kasi it's a systemic issue. So I think Vico might be able to at least put a dent on that. Thanos might just cost more eventually. Paano kung yung random ano niya, di ba? Distribution niya, mas medyo lamang yung lalo pang na so yun. Plus nakita naman natin sa Endgame na hindi maganda yung naging output. So yun, Sir Freddy, get the point.
Okay. Sige, I'll refill. And then I'll choose a topic. Ito. Humor topic. As a friend.
Hashtag as a friend.
Hashtag as a friend.
Mm-hmm. Sino ang kaibigan ng bayan?
Okay. So, my vice president, you know, ano siya when she's doing her interviews, even if it's very aggressive, for some reason, she's still able to keep the conversation and keep the the audience, fair. And I think because of her posture and openness, it allows her to have this. So yeah, my VP is gonna be Jessica Soho. At least, as a friend, he'll be able to uh, run the conversation. Pero syempre, pagdating sa as a friend, kailangan natin yung experience. Hindi naman, kasi minsan, kailangan wounded healer. Ikaw yung nagkamali para mas makapag-explain ka kung paano mo may iwasan. So, sino pa? Kung hindi ang nag-invento ng hashtag, si
Okay.
Paolo, sa mismo, ang nag-cause as a friend, hashtag going up to Baguio. Yeah. So that's my president. Paolo and then Jessica for B. Hanapin ko pala si as a friend.
Me first.
Sige, go.
Okay. So my VP would be Ben from Ben and Ben. Are they both Bens?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
both.
Either one or both of them. Kasi
Ano yung Ben sa nila apelido, no? Is it Ben part of their surname?
I'm not sure.
Hindi ba they're both,
I think
parang first name ata nila Ben eh.
Talaga?
Yeah, I think.
They're twins kasi, di ba? Tapos so they had let me Google while
Okay, so
Aya goes ahead.
Ben, because I think that their songs are now like the anthems in a sense of barcadas all around the Philippines. So they really represent, or at least when people hear their songs, they think about their friendships with different people. And for my president, it would be one, because one represents each and every one of us, and how each of us can actually help make this country better. Just if we even just as a friend, even if we, as long as we care for each other as much as we care for each other as a friend, then I think we would be more we would be less apathetic, we would be more caring, we would make better choices, and in general it will lead to a better Philippines.
So, Juan, tama ba? Sorry.
Yeah, Ben as the VP and Juan as the president.
Tapos, I googled it. It's the Benjamins. It's not their family name. They're
Mm.
both. They have Benjamin both in their name. Paolo
Mm.
Benjamin Guico and Miguel Benjamin Guico. Kaya naging
Okay,
Ben
second name
and
nila.
Ben. Oh,
Okay. Ah,
Ben.
masyado maisip. Pero okay, sige. So, as a friend. So, tama ba yung as a friend was like, I don't even remember. It's parang yung nagta-travel kasi, pero yun, as a friend or something like that. So,
Umakyat ng Baguio as a friend lang daw. There's no,
mm,
pero sila lang dalawa umakyat.
okay.
As a friend.
So, um, so yung president ko, people are sleeping na, so I'm gonna just lower my voice. So, yung president ko, si Bonifacio. Kasi madami ding nagta-travel, 'di ba nung Katipunan, dami niyang pinupuntahan, mga magagandang lugar, yung Pugadlawin, yung kung saan-saan. Pero obvious naman na as a friend, pero actually more of as a revolutionary na magkasama para kalabanin yung mga Spanish. Obvious na hindi romantic getaway, pero kundi para pumatay ng mga Espanyol. So, yun yung president ko. Kaya obvious naman kung saan siya doon. Tapos, yung vice president ko, si um, si Jessica Jones. So, kaya si Jessica Jones kasi private eye siya. So, kung nagdududa pa kayo kung ano ba talaga meron, kung may significant other pa siya or something, pwede mong ipa-investigate kay Jessica Jones. Sorry, wala ko isip.
I like that though. Sino ba ang Ako ba yung as a friend? Hindi ba ako, di ba?
Si Sir Freddy.
yung-
Sir
Sir
Freddy.
Freddy.
Okay. Sobrang dali na sabihin si Paulo kasi talagang swak na swak sa kanya yung yung as a friend. But tapos unfortunately wala akong alam na Ben and Ben songs.
Oh no. Oh no.
So actually I would say na na ako dun sa Jessica Jones dahil importanteng yung mga nagsasabi ng friend lang sila. Hindi pa investigate mo, di ba?
Correct. Tama.
So I'll give it to Nico.
I agree ako dun, sir. Oo, actually useful yun nung useful yung pwede mong
Isipin mo kung si Jessica Jones, sinundan niya sila nun? Di automatic na, alam na ng tao, di ba?
Okay, Nico.
Okay. Ito. Okay. More fun in the Philippines. More fun in Pinas pala. Sorry, mali pagbasa ko.
It's okay. Mga ganung bagay, kailangan din namin i-pick. Para lang, baka mamaya kasi, masita pa na, So, ito, iba namin ng konti. Okay. It's more fun in the Philippines. Okay. Ako nang, na. Kasi, in the Philippines, doon ka lang, ang mga, natin, ang mga Pilipino, multi-talented. Teka, ano ba yung more fun in the Philippines ko? So, multi-talented. Nalabas mo na mamaya. Multi-talented. Kaya, very entertaining talaga sa Pilipinas. So, ang aking, Vice President, syempre kailangan natin ng budget kasi sa totoo lang, marami tayong magaling na talent, pero kulang tayo sa budget. So, in order for us to promote itong talent natin, kailangan natin ng magaling na promoter. So, nandiyan si Oprah, ang aking VP, para i-showcase niya. Ginagawa na niya to kaya nga nakilala si change her name already to a guy's name.
Yes.
Charisse became Jake.
Jake.
Tama ba? Jake, right? So her her global appeal or his global appeal is from Oprah. And syempre sino ba yung una nating multi-talented? Multi-talented, ba? lahat na lang nagawa niya from arts to medical, to novels, yan. So, of course, nandiyan ang ating national hero, si Rizal. More fun in the Philippines.
Okay, I'll throw away 2 cards. Hopefully, I get something better. Hmm. Okay. Sige. It's more fun in the Philippines, lalo na pagdating sa kampanya dahil we get so many fun memes. Diba? So, tapos meron pang mahilig kumanta. Kakanta ng Titanium. Tapos gusto niya sabay-sabay lahat para masaya. Okay? Tapos isa sa mga nagpapasaya sa mga tao ngayon, because he's so memeable, ito ang pambansang dancing teddy bear. Yan. Diba? Ang saya-saya ng kampanya. Yun.
Okay.
More cringe in the Philippines.
More cringe.
Oh no.
So,
So, ano po yan? President po?
Si Tony.
Harry and Tony. Okay.
is Maine Mendoza. So, I think she's a good ambassador kasi because since sumikat siya sa internet, then she has a following na there. So, I mean, even non-Pinoy. So, she can promote the Philippines to them and encourage everyone to come to the Philippines and discover our beautiful country. So, she will be able to do that with her reach. And my president is Kiko Machine. The comic hero. Yeah, Kiko Machine. Because I think aside from our natural, the beauty of our islands and everything, we also have a very rich culture. So he's also going to be a very good ambassador for that. Not just in terms of the sites, the physical, but also the culture and the artistry that we have.
Okay. Well, this one's easy. It's Kiko Machine. The most fun among all the candidates. I mean, nasa likod ng chippy, so so it goes to Aya here.
All right. Okay. Aya.
Okay, you'll pick.
I'll pick na. Well, I already got my favorite. Here. Climate change.
Wow, okay. Medyo mahirap to kasi we have to
Oo nga eh.
climate change to
40 ni ano to eh.
Oo nga eh.
Paano pa natin to ano? I will now be discarding 4 cards.
Ako din. Discard 2.
Oh gosh.
Uy, first time, hindi ako magmumuligan.
Okay. Sige. Probably not gonna work, but yeah. Let's go. Okay. For climate change, kailangan medyo okay ka for plants, greens, diba? You're aware of the benefits of medicinal plants, So alam ko si Isko, meron siyang mga type na mga na plants, and I think he can help on that one. And then it's for my president naman, ang presidente ko si Joseph the Dreamer, kasi nakita niya yung vision ng sa family niya, nagawa niya, na-improve niya yung buhay ng family niya. So I think if he also envisioned a world na is actually healthy and nature is abundant, then I think kaya din niyang i-push. Yan, sige, naipilit ko na.
I just realized may climate change yung actual story ni Joseph the Dreamer, di ba? Kasi
nagkaroon ng drought.
Drought. Oo nga,
And
for
then,
how,
and
for
then
how many...
ano, pinabalik niya ang kanyang mga brothers.
Yeah. Okay. Ako ba,
Sir
sir?
Freddy?
Or ako?
Sino ba next?
Any, I have.
Sige.
Sige, go ahead.
Sa akin na.
Ah,
Sige, Sir Freddy.
since climate change ang pinag-uusapan, di ba? So, we have to talk about the Green New Deal ni Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. So, she's the main same face of the Green New Deal. And of course, there's Joe Biden who supports her with that Green New Deal and is very, very much in promoting EVs, electric vehicles, right now in the United States. So I think these two are championing real, changes that will help in tackling the problem of climate change.
Agree, agree.
Sagot niyo. Okay, so here's my nonsense answer. So yung climate change, kailangan talaga ng mga scientists yung the best and the ones who can really think of proper solutions in order to solve the climate challenge. So, yung vice president ko, yung magle-legwork talaga kasi alam niya, si Batman. Kasi may contingency siya sa lahat ng mga probabilities at possibilities na pwede mangyari. Tapos, friends pa siya yung Justice League, so pwede niyang kausapin sila sila Wonder Woman, sila Superman para tulungan naman siya sa pag-ayos ng climate change. Tapos, yung president ko, yung kayang mag-deal with nature directly. Kung sino pa kundi si Alexandra 13. Kakausapin niya yung mga anito ng langit at yung mga anito ng bundok at ng karagatan at ng mga ilog para humingi ng patawad sa nature natin para maayos natin yung climate change.
Okay, the one who has a point is Sir Freddy.
Wala, powerhouse si Sir Freddy.
Sabi ko hindi ako kailangan magmuligan eh.
Alright,
Change.
Green New Deal. Okay.
They really are.
Alright.
Wow, to all, grabe.
Okay. Sure na,
Lightning round.
the game is about to end. So, Sir Freddy.
I'm gonna pick the topic and I'm going to be king making.
Yes.
Or queen making.
Yes.
Okay, sige. This is something that one of the top issues for me. And itong issue na to medyo naging mas evident siya na problema ngayong pandemic. Although it's not pandemic related, but pumasok na rin siya because of all the logistics issues and everything. It's rice importation, but on a bigger scale, it's actually national food sufficiency. Yun talaga yung issue. This is actually a symptom of the problem of national food sufficiency. Yun. So please present your candidates and their platforms.
Okay, discarding 3 cards.
I'll discard.
Discarding 4.
Okay. All right.
See, go ahead.
Sige.
Ah.
So, kailangan kasi pagdating nga dito sa ang core focus natin, kailangan maibalik natin sa ating local farmers. While the tariff na nilagay para dun sa mga rice importation, the intention was okay kasi nga to mitigate. But actually, there's a major loss in terms of the market share ng ating mga local farmer. Kasi nga, mas na-flood talaga yung market. I mean, the need is there, so even if the tariff was present, the market share of the local farmers are not there. It's no longer as profitable for them. So talagang nawala yung mga farmers. And we need to bring back the capabilities with them. And actually, papatawag ko ulit si Joseph the Dreamer kasi nagawa niya yon sa Egypt, di ba? Nagawa niya na during drought, napalago niya ulit yung kanyang yung farming and yung animal husbandry. So nagawa niya. Pero syempre, kailangan niya ng leader na makakapag-convince naman sa general public na we need to be supportive of our immediate need ng ating mga kababayan. Immediate need ng mga kababayan natin is, yun nga, if these farmers need to get back to their farms, they need access, they need mobility, they need supply. So yan. So I think one that's very, very proactive in terms of helping right away, of course, si Madam Lenny, because yun,
Hala.
very, very immediate ang kanyang response. There you go. President and VP. Sorry, power cards. So.
Kanina pa tinipid yan ah.
Hinawakan niyan from round 1.
No, ulo na lang yun.
You first.
Yo.
Okay. Okay, my VP is King Kong. It's more because he's very strong. And one of the big issues is the farm to market roads. So, and aside from that, technology as well. But then the thing is, even if the farmers have the produce, it doesn't really, sometimes nabubulok lang sila sa fields because it can't be brought to the people who need it for food. So yun, si King Kong will help with that, the farm to market roads and the infrastructure needed for that. And the president is Queen Elizabeth. I don't know. I think that she sort of understands these kinds of problems.
Sige.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Marami siyang plantation back in the day.
Maybe she can help with the technology.
Okay. Wala, pangit yung... Okay, sige. So yung vice president ko, si Catriona. Kasi she can bring a lot of attention kasi 'di ba Miss Universe siya. So pwede siyang gawing ambassador para kausapin yung mga ibang countries na nag-i-import ng rice na pwedeng kontian na lang ganun, magsispin-spin ako para bawasan niya naman yung rice, yung tariffs ganun. Pero yung important talaga is self-sufficiency in terms of food. So yung presidential candidate ko ay yung diwata ng si Maria Makiling para magawing niyang mas productive yung mga yung lupa para makapag mas maraming ani sa pag nagplant ng kanin.
Okay, lahat naman may na-bring up na magandang points. Yung si King Kong dahil gagawin niya yung farm to market roads at saka siya mismo yung magbubuhat. Di ba? Si Catriona to bring awareness. Mariang Makiling dahil ewan ko, inkanto siya. So, mamagicin niya. Si Queen Elizabeth medyo talagang stretch. Kasi
sila mga di ba? Plantation. Kinokolekta ng mga British ang plantations back in the day. Diba? I-import pa nga sila ng mga from Africa.
Sige. But mas ako dun sa dahil si Joseph the Dreamer nga naman na ayos niya ang food situation sa Egypt nung panahon na yon at saka si Ma'am Lenny na alam natin is mabilis kumilos and mabilis tumulong. So I'll have to give this to Ron. This round. Bias ng game designer.
It's the first time I won my own game.
Good
It
game.
was very close.
Mm.
Ayun. Well, yan. Actually, pagka gamers ang naglalaro, ganyan ang itsura lagi.
Mm.
Ang tendency is maging para siyang nagsispread yung number until mag-critical mass. So, hindi siya nag-early exit. Pagka not necessarily for gamers yan, pwede mag-early exit yung game kasi may mag 3 points agad. And they really like it to 3 points. Pero pagka gamers, para may natural bias. Anyway, so yun.
Mhm.
So, that is PlataPorma. I hope you guys enjoyed our small playthrough, and at the same time gave you guys some ideas of um, how to get your game up into production, our experience and our challenges. If you have not yet tried, playing PlataPorma, please do so. It is available in Lazada and Shopee, and uh, yeah, uh, we would also like to invite you for Bacon uh,
Mhm.
2022. Gonna be in uh, Eton West and April 23 and 24. We will share the link to the sign up down below on the comments later on. Uh, so yeah, super thank you for everyone for joining us, and Aya, Nico, thank you for
Thank
extending.
you.
Super appreciated.
Mm.
How's I mean, we've talked about this before, but can you maybe just share a bit, like, especially you, Aya? I think is it the first time you played
Yeah,
Plataforma?
it's the
Mm.
first
Okay.
time I played.
So
Uh,
how's your experience?
I enjoyed it. Parang before starting the stream, I was a bit nervous because I don't know many people. Like popular culture, mahina ako in terms of like
Mm.
who who's who.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I guess since nga I'm competitive, I just want to be prepared going into the games. So I like went through the whole deck in terms of like the issues just so I can be it's not gonna be surprising for me.
Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
ayun, I was also a bit afraid because I'm not really but I don't think that I'm witty or funny. So I like when it comes to games like this, medyo insecure ako in terms of will I be able to like di ba si Nico so animated and humorous. So like, can I compete with that? Yung mga ganon. But then yun, it's actually very, yun nga, the game gave me a lot of space to work with.
Mm.
Parang, it's, the names nga can be interpreted in different ways. And I really like the game in terms of nga, giving a venue to discuss the different issues. Like, even if just to explain nga why these are your candidates, I think there's a lot of learning opportunity there.
Yeah.
And it's also like learning from each other's experience. Kasi nga, I mean, I might not be aware of like the different perspectives or backgrounds that other people know when they try to convince other people with their tandem. So I think it's a really good game, especially
Mm.
for doing that, for giving a space to talk about the issues in an yun nga, in a fun way, in
Mm.
not in a threatening or like
Mm.
debate kind of way.
Right.
Yeah, I really love it. I love the game.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And yun, I like how we were all playing it quite differently, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mm.
Aya has always been on the facts. Here's the realities, and that's totally fine. And it's always been interesting to see a pitch that's once comedic, once all facts, once a bit out there, and it's okay that they all somehow still work together, and then you will find something that appeals to you, and it's not weird. It's actually perfectly fine. So I think that's something that I appreciated also after the plays that I've experienced. And again, yeah, um, I've played with people na talagang okay, I will work with facts, but they will also laugh with the rest of the, when people are making their jokes, and at the same time, kami din, we were like, oh, climate change, teka lang. Kailangan linisin natin. Ayan. So yun, thank you very much, everyone. Keep safe, and we will see you on DayCon 2022.
Mhm.
See you guys.
Thank
Thank you.
you. See
Bye.
you.
Bye.